Most of us suffer from dandruff at some point of life, but minor dandruff is okay. But many of my patients have very severe heavy dandruff, and often they attribute their hair loss with their dandruff. I would say it is partially true, it's not a total misconception, but dandruff does not give us permanent hair loss. Dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis or seborrheic capitis, as we call it medically, is a cause of temporary hair loss, meaning it does not damage the hair root, but it can give you hair shedding, which comes back once your dandruff is under control. So, if you are attributing your baldness towards dandruff only, then think again, that may not be the reason. Can dandruff cause baldness? Or is there a correlation between hair loss and dandruff? Well, yes and no. See, dandruff, particularly when it is too much, can give you hair shedding. But this does not cause a permanent damage to the hair root, and thus dandruff does not cause baldness. Or let's say dandruff alone cannot cause baldness. However, if you have male pattern hair loss, genetic hair thinning, and you have excessive dandruff on top of it, then you may lose your hair at an earlier age than a person who does not have dandruff. So a dandruff contributes towards major hair loss. Dandruff contributes towards baldness, but is not the sole cause of baldness ever. So can dandruff be a cause of hair loss or hair thinning? Well, both the problems are common. Dandruff is very common, hair loss is very common. So it's very natural for many people to correlate the two, that the hair fall is happening because of dandruff. But it's not that simple. We need to understand two things. Again, we have discussed it in the past, that hair fall or shedding and hair thinning are two different things. Hair fall is a fairly common problem, and so is dandruff. And that is why many people correlate the two. However, we need to understand it in a more elaborate way. So first, mild dandruff. Mild dandruff is nothing but just flakiness of the scalp, and that does not cause either hair thinning or hair fall. Second is severe dandruff, wherein the scalp becomes red, itchy, severely flaky, sometimes associated with conditions like fungal infections, tinea capitis, or psoriasis. In such scenarios, this dandruff can cause heavy hair shedding or hair fall. Luckily, this shedding, this fall is not permanent and the roots are not damaged. So once the dandruff is controlled, these hair will grow back and we go to the pre-dandruff levels. However, when you have a pre-existing hair thinning or genetic or male pattern hair loss, then excessive dandruff can lead to faster shedding of these thin hair, and because the hormones are also playing a role, the regrowth is very slow or not at all. So their dandruff can contribute to early baldness in people who already have a pre-existing hair thinning.